Thank you. Y'all are Jehovah's, right? Okay.
Have you visited our website before?
I have not. I've heard some about y'all that y'all are banned in Russia.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Why is that?
They,
Lovely skirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Hi,
Nice.
I'm Julie.
Nice to meet you, Stacy.
Stacy is my husband.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
They've considered it extremist material.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why, I'm really not sure. But it's because they feel like that it would teach people the wrong things, even though it's from the Bible. And so our website's banned as well. But there actually is information on our website, jw.org, under a news tab, and it has the articles there about what's happening in Russia. And so feel free to go there, and I think, is it on the back of the book? Is there? No, not this one, but yeah, it's jw.org.
Oh, okay.
So yes, that's true. So they're still fighting it and hoping that they'll be able to get it overturned.
Oh, okay. Well, there comes a band. So, all right. Well, I'm getting scared, so all right. Well, y'all have a good
Here on Friday, so feel free to come back.
Oh, y'all will be here?
It may not be us, but somebody will be.
Okay. Okay, bye.
I was going to tell you, I can send you that link.
Oh, I mean, that's okay. I've seen,
For the news releases. But yeah, that's all it is. If you just go to jw.org and then the news releases right there. And then it has by region and legal developments, and it'll have different scenario.
Okay. How long have you been a Jehovah's Witness?
I was baptized 21 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you raised as a JW, or like I can't sometimes say JW because I see like the JW
fine.
everywhere.
That's fine. My dad was always one of Jehovah's Witnesses, but my mom is not.
Oh really?
And my mom raised me, so I wasn't raised in a house that was Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay. But I did know about it because of my dad.
You were exposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you? I'm always interested in how people come to their beliefs, and so I wonder, like, how confident are you that this is the right religion? Like, say on a scale of 0 to 100.
Oh, I would say 100.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really
You know,
confident.
it's interesting. I don't usually like when people get baptized into a religion. What do you think they do before they get baptized? Like most, religions, and maybe
I guess
in your
it's
own
hard
experience.
to say because like Catholics baptize really young, and others I'm not sure how they do it, but
And sometimes they'll have maybe if someone comes and they're moved by a sermon, then they can volunteer, to get baptized. But as Jehovah's Witnesses, we actually have to go through a Bible study program and answer a set of questions to make sure that we do understand, what it is that Jehovah's Witnesses teach and believe. And so it's not a spur of the moment kind of decision.
You're very firm in your beliefs. So how, like, would your confidence level change at all if, say, something were proven to you that it wasn't true, or maybe there was something flawed in the doctrine and they had to change something, or
I guess it would depend on what. Could you give me an example, like what kind of?
I don't know. I guess I hear different religions changing their doctrines and easing up, but I guess on some of their policies, and some get stricter on policies. I guess
I guess it would depend on what it was based on. So, for example, there's a scripture in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 18 that talks about the light getting brighter, meaning that we would understand more and more about the Bible as time went on. And so if it was based on something more understanding from the Bible, then I would say, okay, well, that's great. We understand more now. Let's make the adjustment. Let's not stick to an old way that now we know doesn't match what the Bible says.
Yeah.
But if it was something that was based on a trend or a society's belief now, maybe this country believes this way, this country believes that way, so we're going to believe differently in different countries. That takes away the basis, which is the Bible.
Okay.
And does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, as far as the Bible, like, is that what you base your you base your beliefs on the, is it, because I've heard different people talk about different things like life experiences or what they were raised to believe, or the holy books that they believe. Because I've talked to Mormons too. So what do you think is the main source of your for
The
you
Bible.
for you believe?
The Bible.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Were you raised in a church?
no.
No.
I like to ask people different questions about their beliefs, how they come to their beliefs. Okay, so why do you believe the Bible? Yeah, like what is it about the Bible that makes you believe that is versus like say if I went over and talked to this Mormon over here, he would tell me the Book of Mormon. Of course, they say it's a part of the Bible. Yeah. So like how would I know who's right? Like if I wanted to join or something, how would I know?
Well, I would say think about anything else. Like if you're trying to decide which car to buy, how would you do that? You do research.
Right, the Carfax.
Into each one, right? You do research, maybe talk to people who have experience with this car and with that car. So we encourage the same thing about the Bible. That's why, like I was saying, we don't baptize people when we first meet them or the first time they come or anything like that because we want them to know and make an educated, informed decision.
Yeah.
So that's why we encourage research, and we offer free home Bible studies for that purpose. It's a no obligation program, and that's why, so that people can go through different topics and see, okay, what does the Bible say about that? Is that something that I accept, that I believe is proven, that I can, focus my life around?
Okay, and so how I know. So how? Okay, every religion thinks that theirs is the right one and theirs is their way to salvation, I guess. So how do y'all feel about that? Like people who don't join the Jehovah's Witness. What do y'all think happens? I guess
to them.
Yeah.
No, that's a great question. Actually, we're not in a position to judge people. And so we know, like, when Jesus was here, he was able to judge people. He knew their hearts. And he was able to say that what the religious leaders were teaching, he told them straight out, what you're teaching doesn't match what God believes, what God says, what God teaches. So he was able to do that. But individual people, so I mean, if there's a religion that's encouraging people that's saying, it's okay to kill, or it's okay to do these different things that we know the Bible says that aren't true, well then, that religion, we're not going to say, oh sure, great, that religion's fine.
Yeah.
But the individuals who go there,
but then like there's, what if their holy book says to do those things? Of course we know. I feel like we're all born with a moral compass.
That's actually based in the Bible. Romans 2, it says that we're all born with that inherent conscience that comes because we were made in God's image, and it's still in there, even though it's been.
Yeah, I have trouble with that because I've read the Bible, and there's a lot of massacring and murdering on God's part, and so that's why I want to know, like, why do people believe the Bible is a good moral compass? The Bible. I mean, there's the flood. Wiped out all the men, women, children, animals, even innocent babies. And so that's always kind of.
Why did he do that, though?
Well, the babies, though. I mean, I don't know. Just because their parents didn't. Maybe their parents didn't listen.
Right.
But why? I mean, to me, that's pretty awful. To murder somebody's innocent kids, and so that's why I don't really like to look at the Bible as anything moral. And there's some good parts in there if you want to pick those parts out. But, I think the Golden Rule comes out of that, or is that a philosophy?
No, that's.
But other than that, there's just a lot of killing and rape and slavery and that kind of stuff.
As far as the rape and the slavery and things like that, it's interesting. This is something that I wondered for a long time too, because I would read an account in the Bible of somebody acting a certain way, whether they were a king or a priest or whatever the case was, and I would think, why did God let them do that? Why was that okay for them to do that? And then later I learned some of the things recorded in the Bible are just recorded in the Bible. They're history. They're saying this is what they did. And so it's not saying that it was something God encouraged them to do, that God taught them to do, for example, having 2 wives or 3 wives or 4 wives, or obviously like you're talking about some in the Bible that would talk about raping their half-sister or, whatever, seducing their father. Those are things that God taught them to do or encouraged them to do. But he's having the history recorded. so that we know what happened. And so as we look at the Bible as a whole, we know that those aren't things that he would approve of. But he's not also hiding the truth and saying, these are people who served me, but they made these mistakes. They did these things, and this is how we got to where we are today. And so that helped me to adjust my viewpoint instead of wondering why those things were there and a supposedly good person was doing these things and it was okay, but to look at it as, okay, he's recording this history, and as we look at a whole of who God is, then we can see what he would accept and what he wouldn't. So that helped me with that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the questions that you're asking on that website, jw.org, there's a frequently asked questions portion, and it actually has not all of the questions you ask, but most of them are there.
Okay.
And so as you go through that, and it'll have different references that you can look at.
And then just one more question I like to ask everybody. How do y'all feel? Say if somebody joins and then they find out, well, it's not for me after all. Is there an honorable way to leave the church?
It's an interesting question. May I ask what makes you ask that question?
I've had friends who talked about religions that they've been in, and I know some get like excommunicated, or and then I've heard of Scientology. They hunt you down. So I'm just curious how that works. So.
I can tell you, for example, my brother-in-law was baptized as one of the Jehovah's Witnesses, and after a couple of years, he decided that wasn't the life he wanted to lead. And while we were disappointed in that, he went on and lived his life, and he still lived a moral life. He still, tried to be a good person, but he just didn't want to keep coming to meetings and keep preaching like we do. And so that's one choice that people make. Other people
he didn't get excommunicated?
No. Other people make a choice where they want to take a stand against Jehovah's Witnesses, and they want to say what you're teaching are lies and what you're, that kind of thing. That would be dealt with differently. And so yes, that person probably in your term excommunicated, because they're not just saying, I want to lead a different life. They're saying, they're going to take a stand against Jehovah's Witnesses, and so that would be a different viewpoint. And so you can think about it, even like in your family, if somebody decided they didn't want to keep coming to family gatherings, you would think, right? But if they decided to come to family gatherings and cause all kinds of problems and start throwing things at people and trying to cause problems and divisions, would you continue to invite them into your home?
Probably not.
Right. So it's the same thing.
If
but
they were to do that,
they just said, yeah, I'm not going to come anymore, then you think, okay, well, maybe they'll change their mind later and come back. And we always have the arms open, come to the family, you're always welcome. That's different than someone who decides to take a stand against, the family. And so that's the view that the Bible takes too.
Well, I better keep going.
No problem.
It was very nice to meet you.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
What was your name again?
Julie.
Okay. Nice
And like I said, I think the website, you'll find lots of great information there, and you can read it on your own time whenever you have the chance. And there's also a place, like I said, we're here most days, not us personally, but Jehovah's Witnesses. So if you have any other questions, but also on that website, you can request for someone to visit you for free if you'd like to do that as well.
Okay, well, maybe I'll see you again here sometime.
Okay.
I'll ask you some more questions.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Have a good one. Well, I got interrupted by a band, and so I wrapped it up after I grabbed some literature and walked away. And luckily, that I was able to isolate one of them, and so she came over and talked to me. And I just tried to make it non-confrontational and just ask pressing questions. And she lied too. It's so sad. All these people, you think that they're really nice, and then they lie to you, to your face. Nobody can leave that religion honorably. That's just a flat out lie. And so I got this piece of crap, and let's go find a trash can. Because the fewer of these there are, the better. So. All right, one less bullshit book out there.